My name is Wanggo Gallaga, I'm HIV positive, and I'm a Hedona user. When I found out I was HIV positive, I naturally had to start taking ARVs because I was really low in terms of my CD4 count and my viral load was very high. But I wasn't dealing with the side effects very well. And at the same time, I've noticed that my CD4 count had been going lower even while I was taking the ARVs. While I was on ARVs, the side effects were just incredible on my system. The first set of ARVs that was given to me, I was having problems with my digestion. I was getting anemic. I was hospitalized for 2 months for meningitis, and that added complication made things very difficult. The medicine to get rid of the meningitis was very toxic to my body. And since I was also taking ARVs, my kidneys and my liver had to do extra work to try to get rid of all that toxicity from my body. The indigestion, the anemia, all of that was coming into play. So it was very difficult for me to get out of, to get cured for meningitis. So my doctors had to put me out, take me out of my medication for a couple of months. And that's when she decided to try and switch me to a different set of ARVs. But the problem with that was that it was giving me emotional and psychological stress. I was an insomniac. I was in a dark place. I was very moody. And at the same time, one of the things that I realized helped my getting better was to be able to get back to work and to feel normal again, not feeling sick. Being HIV positive, I realized that my life was going to change, and there were a lot of changes that were going to go in, that was going to be involved in the whole situation. So I decided to come out into public about it. I've written about being HIV positive in the Philippines. I've gone on to several shows, and because of this, I was approached by a group from Singapore who handle Hedona, and they wanted to ask me if I was willing to try out something new. So we had a meeting. We sat down. And they started showing me all these lab results and other people who are trying out the Hedona. And I noticed that their numbers have been getting better. I mean, their CD4 has gone up, their viral load has gone down. So it was really an amazing thing for me. He even showed me certificates that showed that the Hedona was not toxic whatsoever. And I think that was the most important thing for me, because it's really going to be better for my system, for my body, to be able to not have to deal with that kind of toxicity. In terms of looking for something alternative, for something that's more natural and that's better for my body, it seems like Hedona found me rather than me finding it. One of the things I liked about the group who approached me was that they weren't forcing me to stop taking ARVs. They were just showing me that there is an alternative and that there's something else that I could be taking for my treatment. So when I decided to start taking Hedona, I was taking it with my ARVs. I started in July 2009. What happened was, because of the regimented system of ARVs, I was trying to take it at the same time so that I knew that when I take my ARVs, I'll take the Hedona as well. But I was suffering from major indigestion. So what we did was we stopped first with the Hedona, and then we discussed on how to continue on with the treatment, and we decided that maybe we do about 2 hours or 3 hours between the ARVs and the Hedona, and then things started to change. When I started taking the Hedona, I started feeling much better. I started feeling stronger, I guess. People started noticing that things have been different with me. So after about 2 weeks, it wasn't, I remember distinctly, I made a decision on July 16, after 16 days of taking Hedona, that I wanted to get off the ARVs. The Hedona seemed to be making a difference in my treatment more than having taken ARVs for months. So on my own decision, I decided to stop taking ARVs, and I've been just on Hedona since July 16. People have said that I started gaining weight. My skin would clear up. I was in a much better mood. I could handle these things. I could handle what life was throwing at me better. I wasn't suffering from any kind of side effects, so I was generally in a much better mood. I was happier, and I didn't feel sick, and I think that was the most important thing for me. One of the other things that I love about Hedona is the fact that it's actually very easy to use. It's very easy to get into your system. Basically, it's a powder which you mix with a half a mug of hot water, and that's it. You can take it at any time of the day and as your prescribed dosage. For me, it was thrice a day. We started at thrice a day. And so I would just space it around my day. And what was great about it is that you can bring the Hedona with you, and as long as you know you have access to hot water, you're fine. You can mix it with your food, and you can take it after or before lunch or before your meals, and it's very convenient. It's not regimented, not like the ARVs where you have to take it at a particular hour, and that makes things so much more convenient. It makes things easier for me. And for someone like me who works in really strange hours, I would have interviews and meetings and whatever. So basically, it's extremely convenient. That's another great comparison it's got against ARVs, is that I can take it anywhere, and all I need really is just a mug and hot water. One of the reasons why I decided to get off ARVs is because I wanted a more natural treatment without the side effects. I started continuing monitoring my viral load and my CD4 count since I started taking Hedona back in July. I'm happy to say that my viral load has been going down drastically since I started taking Hedona. An alternative that allowed me to continue working, to be in a better disposition, was very important. But I had to make sure also that the treatment was working. Sure, there's no side effects, but what if I was getting worse? So we continued monitoring my viral load and my CD4 count. And I'm happy to say that just using Hedona since July, my numbers are getting better. My viral load has been halved every time I go and check my viral load. We checked it around September to October, and at that time it was at 300,000. The month afterwards, when we checked it again, it was at 150. We checked it again a month later, sometime in November, and it came out to 66,000. It is putting me in a place where I am in a better position to live a normal life. I guess for people living with HIV, the only thing that we've got going for us, I suppose, is hope. From looking at the research, looking at the laboratory results, when they have approached me about Hedona, a lot of people who are in actually worse conditions than I am have gotten so much better because of Hedona. I've seen the lab results about people who were in the hospital where the doctors are actually saying that this is a lost cause, and Hedona has gotten them back on their feet and back into a life that, you know, is ordinary and normal. I've been living with HIV since only 2008. There are a lot of other people out there who've been living with it longer and struggling with the difficulties of ARVs. Well, there's hope that we can live without those as well. It has given me a chance to live my life as normal as possible, and I hope that it gives the same kind of hope to other people as well. Hope, that's all that we've got really. Hope that maybe eventually someone will find a cure, or hope that eventually we'll live as long as we possibly can, just as much as every normal person can, and have a life that, you know, that we could be proud of. Hedona has been my hope.